Hello, this is Dr. Phil Smith with part 2 of Careers in Health IT. Today I'm going to focus on the tips on advancing your career. If you're a novice to Health IT, you might want to watch part 1. And on part 3, I will be talking about how to avoid Health IT career traps. A little bit about me. I've been in healthcare for over 40 years and Health IT for 26 years. I'm a physician, I'm an author, health IT consultant, and have served 12 years as Chief Medical Information Officer and 4 years in hospital administration as a Chief Medical Officer. So I have a very broad perspective of health IT and really want to see more and more people in our field get to the top of their game. So for you, advancing your career is really about assessing where you are and determining what you're going to do to get better. So I'm going to break this out as I did in part 1 into technical skills, workplace and personal effectiveness skills, and academic skills. So on the technical side, I can't stress enough how valuable Excel skills are. Microsoft Excel is a spreadsheet program. Some of you in your personal life may be using other products, but Excel is commonly used in health IT. And if you can learn how to do pivot tables and some advanced functions in Excel, no matter what your role is, I have found that to be helpful because Excel is a great tool to use in addition to Word and Outlook and PowerPoint. You should know the principles of good IT hygiene, cyber hygiene. Make sure that you understand security, compliance, and privacy, and that would be familiarity with HIPAA, HIPAA, which is a Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. These are areas that you need to know clearly. You definitely do not want to fall victim to a phishing attack. That's phishing, phishing. And there is a primer on my YouTube channel on some common examples of phishing emails. So if you're not familiar with those, take advantage of those. On healthcare basics, you should know some basic healthcare terminology, both in IT and in healthcare. But also recognize that within every organization, there is local terminology that is used, and realize when you're using that within your department, and be rare to use lingo when you're outside the department and working with end users. Change control is another important part of health IT, which is maintaining accuracy and rigor in how we implement changes and document those in our system. And again, I have a presentation called The Essentials of IT Change Control on my channel that you can take advantage of if you want to learn more. I often find organizations, though, that are fairly immature on their change control processes, and I've been in some organizations that are at the top of the game in change control. So this is something you want to make sure you know about. On your personal technical skills, any certifications that are appropriate to your role, make sure you have those or are working towards those. If you're already employed, check with your boss. There may be certifications that will be paid for by your company, and you certainly want to take advantage of those. Make sure you're maintaining your competencies and your skills, staying up to date, and you have familiarity with both languages I talked about and the new tools that are coming out. And this is why I feel you always need to be reading in your field to stay up to date. I like to tell people that you should establish yourself as the go-to person for special skills. And one of these areas is Excel. If you can become an Excel guru and become the person in your department that everyone else goes to ask questions, that creates some personal and political capital that is very valuable in your career and in your company. And what skills are you teaching or sharing with others? Are you doing lunch and learns? Are you teaching people things that you know that other people aren't good on? And I always say that if I'm irritated by how some people are emailing me or how some people are communicating or if they're multitasking in meetings and not paying attention, it's a great opportunity to do a lunch and learn and teach good skills rather than beat people up for what they don't know. You be the person that provides value to your peers by teaching things to others that they may not know. And are there certifications that you've started but never finished? And are they up to date? And as I said earlier, am I following all of our security policies or am I taking shortcuts? And we all get a little cavalier and think, well, I've done that before. It's not a big issue. But if you're working outside your security policies, you really need to correct your behavior and believe that even though you may have gotten away with it in the past, it's really good to always be within policy. And ask yourself, is there a lunch and learn that I can do for my peers or my team? Now, workplace effectiveness skills, how do you rank yourself on a scale to 1 to 5, and with 5 being the best on these 6 areas? So I'm not going to read them to you. You can read them for yourself, but do kind of a personal assessment on how you're doing in each area and pick an area where you might want to do better and do some reading on those areas. And there's certainly a lot of resources available on each of these topics. So what am I doing each week to strengthen our team on workplace skills? Are my emails personally effective? Are they compelling? Are they polite? Are they effective? Who are my mentors in various areas of my life, and who am I actively mentoring? And I feel that you really need mentors personally, and you need to be mentoring others so that you'll have more appreciation for what it's like to be a mentor and will take more advantage of the opportunity your mentor may be providing for you. Do I say what I do and do what I say? This is about letting your yes be yes and your no be no. Am I meeting deadlines? Am I keeping my deadlines? Am I keeping my word? Am I finishing things on time, under budget? And am I helping the team to grow and help my peers to grow? And am I always giving my best at work? Only you can really answer this question for yourself. And if you're not, why not? Give some thought to that. On the academic side, again, take some time to rate yourself on 1 to 5. Your reading skills. Are you actively reading something 20 to 30 minutes a day to better yourself? Are your writing skills good? Are you avoiding passive voice in your writing? Is your spelling correct? Do you have your spell checker on? When I do math, do I get it right? Am I using scientific method to think through hypotheses and testing my hypothesis? Am I data driven? Am I using good critical thinking? And am I using my problem solving skills appropriately? So if you're not ranking high on any of these, which ones should you discuss with your supervisor and say, which ones do you think I could be doing better on, and how might I do better on this, and which ones do you need me to do better? So these are all things that you can check out with either your mentor or your direct supervisor. And am I reading to improve myself? Is my writing and my analyses precise and compelling? And is there anything I've been putting off? So focus first on taking your good skills to great skills and spend less time on overcoming your weaknesses. Remember the 80-20 rules. Spending 80% of your time on 20% of your strengths, on your top 20% strengths, will give you much more yield than spending 80% of your time on your bottom 20% abilities. And be sure to make everything you do have fun. And ask yourself what's next. If you're not already at the top of the career, what are your next steps? Where do you want to go? What do you want to be earning in the next 3 years? And I usually say a 2 to 5 year window is really great for planning your career. And look back on the last 3 years. Have you ascended in your career? And are you where you wanted to be 3 years ago? And if you're not writing out your goals for your career, consider writing them out, reviewing them at least once or twice a year, and keep yourself honest. Are you really working towards them and achieving them? And once you've self-assessed, be open to feedback for others. Identify at least one mentor to help you develop an area of strength. Intentionally learn at least 2 skills each year that build on your strengths. And I recommend you review the career traps that I list in part 3 and actively avoid those so that you can advance your career. I hope you will join me in part 3.